If you're interested in learning how to script in Roblox Studio, you came to the right place. My name is CeeLo, I'm a Roblox game developer, and in this series I'm going to take you from knowing nothing about coding at all to building full-on Roblox games. Whether you decided to start learning for the monetary purposes, trying to make money, or whether you have just always dreamed of making a game, maybe turn this into a hobby, you're making the good decision. Learning how to code in general is a valuable skill, especially in our coming future, where AI and large language models are going to be taking over. Last thing I want to mention before we get right into Roblox development is, in this series, I'm going to be including a lot of how you can use AI tools to help you learn quicker and to help you script in general. To get started, first I'm going to show you how to download Roblox Studio, which is the program or the engine that you need. You're going to go to the link down in the description. It's going to lead you to this page in the Creator Hub, and you're just going to click on Download Studio. Once you do that, you're going to click on Open. Once you do that, it's going to download, and you're going to open up the executable file, and you should be good to go. Once you've done that, you're going to come to a page that looks like this. It might be on the Recents tab, but you're going to go ahead and click on Templates, and then you're going to click on Baseplate. So now that you're in the Baseplate, it may look like this, or you might have some panels opened up. I'm going to give you a brief introduction into what's important. Everything else you can kind of just ignore for now because it can be overwhelming and I don't want to overwhelm you. So first here, let's look at the Home tab. Select, move, scale, and rotate. These tools allow us to move and alter things inside of this 3D view pane that we have here. For example, this little spawn point location. If I have it selected onto move, and then I click on it, I'm gonna have all of these different arrows that I can drag to move this part around. Scale, this will allow me to grow or shrink this part in whatever direction I choose, as you can see here, just by dragging. Rotate, if I have this part selected, I can rotate it in different axes. And then select, which is just this first one, it allows you to select an object and you can kind of drag it around. Now we're gonna skip all these things. Let's go straight into this part section right here. Go ahead and click on part, and you will see that a basic gray brick will spawn. That is just the default part. And you can click this little drop down arrow, and this allows you to choose what you want to spawn in. So as you can see, we spawned in a regular block before, but you can spawn in a sphere, you can spawn in a wedge, you can spawn in all these little building parts to help you get started on building your map inside of your game. Here, if we skip over a few, you can see that we've got a color. So same thing, if you want to adjust the color of something, you can select it and then select color, and you can adjust it just like that. I'm going to make this ball blue over here. And then finally in this Home tab, we're going to look at the play button. The play button allows you to test your game, and you can do that in different ways. If you just go ahead and click on the play button, then we will spawn in kind of like you would in a regular game. You can walk around, you can see what you've built. I'm going to go ahead and click on stop. You can also select run, which will not put your actual character in the game, but it will run the game itself. So if you have anything that you're trying to observe, like a ball moving, then you can just click on run and you'll be able to see that ball moving, but your character won't spawn in. Let's go here into this is just going to include the tools that we need to move things around in the 3D space. It's also going to include some different tools and properties that we can use to edit these objects, make them look different, give them some cool effects. The next tab is avatar. We can use this to make a little NPC character or make a rig that we can animate, do things like that. Under test, we can preview the game through different devices, through a controller. Now under view, this is going to be an important tab because it's got all of our different panels that we can access from here. So it's a lot to look at right here, but we're just going to focus on three main things here. The first one is the Explorer. So if you go ahead and click on Explore, you can see here on the right, this is all of the different files that go into a game. Again, it's a lot to look at, but we're just going to focus on a couple for now. The first one is the workspace. Inside of the workspace, it contains all of the objects that make up this 3D space that we're looking at. So even this floor here, we can see is the base plate. And if we want to delete it, you can see now the floor is gone. And what happens if you do something like this and you didn't actually mean to do it, you can press Ctrl-Z on your keyboard and it'll revert whatever change you just made. So here we brought the floor back, and we've got all of these different parts that we have spawned in, like this ball, this green brick. You can see it's selecting here in the Explorer. And the second thing that we're gonna look at is the server script service. Right now there's nothing in it, but this is where we're gonna run all of our scripts that allow our game to work together and become a game. Now there's gonna be scripts in other locations as well, but server script service is going to be the main container for our server scripts. So that's enough of the Explorer tab for now. Let's go ahead and look at the second thing, which is properties. Here I'm gonna have properties dragged over to the left side, and what you can do in properties is you can select an object inside of the 3D space, or you can select it in the Explorer. In this case, we'll just select this ball, and under properties we're gonna get all of the different things that we can change and adjust about our ball. So whatever you end up selecting, whether it's a ball, a brick, or any other object in your game, you're gonna have a different set of properties for that, because there's different things that you can adjust depending on what the object is. So in this case, if we look at our ball and we click on that, we can change the brick color right here. We can change that to red. We can choose for it to cast a shadow or not cast a shadow. We can change the reflectance to make it more like a mirror. We can make it reflect light more. We can also change things like the transparency to make it invisible. See, now you can see it's all the way invisible, but it's still technically there. And there's just a lot that you can do with these properties. Even things like the position of the part are shown inside of the properties. As you can see here, as I move this part, watch this position move. And the last thing I'm going to show you is the output. If we go ahead and click on output here, we can see that it's opened up right here at the bottom of my screen. And the output is going to give us all of the feedback that happens in our game. So whenever we run the game, here in the output, it's going to tell us what's going on. If we have any errors or anything that we should be aware of, it's going to come right to the output so that we can see it directly. The final tab that we're going to look at in Roblox Studio is the plugins. Now, I've got some plugins here that help me do important things better, but for now, just ignore plugins. You don't need any plugins to learn scripting. So now that you're kind of familiar with the properties and the Explorer tabs and the output, let's go ahead and start our first script. So to create a new script, let's go ahead and navigate to our Explorer in Server Script Service, and we're gonna press this plus icon. And then we're gonna click on Script, and here we're gonna have a default script that says print hello world. Now print is what we call a built-in function, and what it does is whatever you put inside of these quotation marks after print will go directly into our output that I was speaking about before. Now the reason you don't see it now is because our game isn't running, but if I go ahead and run the game, let's take a look at the output. It says hello world. It does exactly what print is supposed to do. So before we get too deep into it, go ahead and click on your script and press enter a bunch of times, and we can see every time we press enter we're getting a new line and the next number over. This is line 1, this is line 2, this is line 3, and so on. And anything I put in the script is going to execute in that order. So it's going to execute line 1, then line 2, then line 3, and if there's nothing in line 4, we'll go to line 5. It executes just like a movie script would, where you have this character first doing one thing and then they come around and do this next thing. So let's go ahead and test that by putting in another print statement. We're going to skip over line 2 and we're just going to say line 3, and then here we're going to go down to line 7 and we're going to print line 7. And now if we go ahead and click play, as you can see it says hello world, line 3, and line 7. What's cool about this output is that it tells us where this print statement was executed. If you see right here, it says script 1. So this on the left is the name of the script that executed that line, and then this on the right is the line number. So you can see here, script 3, that means that this line here executed on my script and it executed on line 3. So now that you've got a basic grasp on Roblox Studio and the importance of the Explorer, properties, and the output, my challenge for this video is for you to create a script, and in the script I want you to print out your name. So I want it to say, hi, my name is, and then blank, whatever your name is. Go ahead and pause this video now to complete this challenge. Once you're done with the challenge, resume this video and you can see how I do it here. Okay, so to complete this challenge, we're going to create a new script in Server Script Service, and we are going to exchange this to say, hi, my name is Sealoaf. And now we're gonna click play, and as you can see in the output, it says, "Hi, my name is CeeLo." So if that's what your output looks like, then you did this correctly. One last thing that I'm gonna show you guys about the Explorer is naming things inside of your Explorer. So as you can see, we just inserted the script that prints out my name, but if you have several scripts, this can get confusing because they're all just gonna be named scripts. So I highly recommend that you name your script something that you can easily identify what it is. So for example, I'm gonna go ahead and right click on this and click rename, and we're gonna name it my name script. Now, as you can see at first glance, I know exactly what it is. You can do the same thing with parts inside of your Explorer. For example, this green brick, I can name it green brick. So if you want an easy time managing your objects inside of your Explorer, definitely name them something. I recommend something short and easy to identify. Anyways guys, that's gonna be it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. The next video and the videos to follow are gonna really go into coding logic and scripting. And I'm gonna take you from not knowing anything about scripting at all to being able to script your entire game in Roblox.